welcome back. This is Woodstock Guitar Guy, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as always, as you can see. And we have here today a very large guitar. I've always wanted one of these. It's called a jumbo, and it's called a jumbo for a reason. It's a very it's a big guitar. It looks bigger, actually, I think, on the TV than it is in reality. But some of my favorite people play these guitars, and I'm talking about like Emmylou Harris plays one of these things. Nick Lowe plays one of these things. Elvis Costello has been seen playing them. These are they're very cool guitars, and they're based. This model is a budget version. I mean, you're not going to believe how inexpensive this guitar was, and how great it is for the money. So, but without further ado, what kind of guitar is it? It is an Astrea. Okay, that's how you pronounce it, Astrea. And these are exclusive on Guitar Fetish website, okay, GFS. They have another brand called the Xavier. They do a lot of electrics and a few acoustics. Excellent guitars. And this is sort of their homage to historical, design. And we've featured a couple of them here already. We've had the parlor guitar in here. We've had the slope-shouldered dreadnought in here. They're still here too, but they're fun guitars, and they have, first of all, they have excellent finishes. They're beautiful instruments. Okay, and they pride themselves with having used really good wood. This has got the Sitka spruce top and the maple sides and back, probably a composite, but that's all right. And they do a nice fretboard, nice fret job. The necks are great. It's just like a big named you-know-what, a famous guitar. And the bottom line is that it sounds great. And I've had this now in here. I've had it for about a month. And when I first got it, I remember the pitch was the loudest guitar we sell. The loudest acoustic, okay. And I said, I want it. I want the loudest acoustic that they make. And it got in here, and I was kind of like, meh, yeah, it ain't that loud. And I changed the strings and put new Diodarrios on there, which I like. And it had Diodarrios, but it may have had those acoustic strings that come with the slick finish on them, which I don't particularly like. I like just straight up guitar strings. And anyway, I played it and played it and played it. It sat around for a month. It got played quite a bit. And I just picked it up this week, and it's starting to really open up. And that's the exciting part of these guitars, is just kind of waiting for them to kind of come around and start to feel like they want to project a little bit more and sort of, settle into their tone, which they're capable of. These guitars are very well built and very inexpensive. So I'm going to say this: if you're on the fence about spending money on an acoustic guitar, but you want to have an acoustic and you don't own one, this is for you. The total cost of this instrument was, with shipping from Florida, was $161. Okay, so I'm all in. If it's under $200 and it sounds like that, you know, seriously, folks. I don't know what else it needs. I could change the tuners. I probably will at some point, because I will say something about their tuners. They are cheap, and they keep the guitar in tune. But they're had a little interlude there. They keep it in tune, but they are a little stiff. Maybe they'll loosen up over time. I don't know. Bone nut, bone saddle down here. I mean, what's not to like? You know, it didn't come with a pickup. This is a K&K double helix pickup, and that I picked up on a great deal, and I just dropped it in here, and we'll do a little sound going out and see what it sounds like. Jury is still out on this double helix by K&K for me. I'm not quite there yet, but who knows? Maybe this is the guitar that it absolutely wants to be connected to. I don't know. We will see. But the tone on this thing is great. Listen to that. And it rings. It sustains. It's a good strummer, as they say. Let's see. And louder guitars are really good for finger picking, which is probably why Emmylou Harris has one of these. When you got all this tone, it's easier to get really a full sound out of a finger pick, and so that's got to be the reason, as far as I can tell. Holly says hi. The action on this thing is beautiful. You can see it is very, very nice relationship to the neck. Neck is perfectly straight. Now, why did I get it so cheap? Well, here's why. It was in the clearance section, my favorite place on Guitar Fetish. And why was it in the clearance section? Because it had a very a surface crack, not wood, but surface, a crack in the finish. Now, I've had a couple of these, and basically it's a stress fracture, and who knows if it's, you know, taking the long trip over from overseas to get here, temperature changes, maybe they tried to dry the finish too quickly or something. I mean, who knows? But the bottom line is, it doesn't affect this guitar one way or the other, except the price. And if you don't mind having a little, you know, surface finish crack, you know, you'll save yourself $75 or something. You can buy these things in perfect condition for, you know, somewhere between 200 and 300. So, and they're worth it. Even the full price is just totally worth it. But don't be disappointed when you first get it and you pull it out and you're like, oh wow, dude. And you hit that first chord and you're like, that ain't that great. Well, you got to give these guys time. These brand new acoustic guitars, they're in a state of shock. They've shown up in your house. They don't know where they are. They're lost little lambs, and they need to kind of get welcomed into the brood and made to feel, like at home, And so that's what I do with these things. And this is one of them that has really, really enjoyed being pampered a little bit. And, I oiled the fretboard and I cleaned the frets and I put the new strings on, put the pickup in there, and it's very easy to play. I mean, this is, for me, as a player and as a singer-songwriter, and I'm working on stuff, and my practice sessions last an hour sometimes, maybe longer. A gig is going to be longer than that. And the bottom line is, I don't want my fingers hurting after the first 15 minutes of trying to play the guitar, And I have a few of them here that, for whatever reason, the frets are too high or whatever the reason, they're not quite as easy to play. And when something like this comes along and it's so easy to play, I guess I'm like, well, if I had $3,000, I'd spring on one of the big name guitars, Guild or Gibson or one of those. I mean, I have Guilds here. I don't have a Gibson acoustic, but I do have a couple of Guild guitars. And they're great. They're totally great. But when you find something like this, and you look, if it falls over and gets a little ding, it's not going to be the end of the world. If you had a $4,000 J200 here and it fell over, it would be the end of the world. It would be like weep. And so anyway, if you're just thinking about getting an acoustic, I would definitely try one of these Astreas. Here they are. And if you're looking for just a kick around guitar for cheap, I would look at one of these. And they have a model. I don't have it yet, but I plan to get it eventually, especially if it turns up on clearance, which is their best guitar. This is Guitar Fetish, and it's all of $325. But it's a dreadnought, and it's got cedar top, and I mean, it just beautiful wood. I mean, it just looks like right up my alley for $300 and change. And we'll see what happens. Okay. So anyway, if you like these chats that we have, and if you like talking about guitars and learning a few things, subscribe, hit the like, join. Share this with your buddies, your friends, and send me a comment. I don't respond immediately to comments, but I do track them down eventually. We're nearing at or above 100 subscribers, so I'm like, woohoo! We're making it. And this is episode number, I think it's 28. Could be 27. I'll have to double check, but we're well on our way to like 10,000 episodes, and look out, Guitar Guy from Woodstock, New York. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have fun with your Astrea. Tell them I sent you. Not that I get anything out of this. Believe me, I get nothing except the pure enjoyment of making these videos, playing these guitars, and vetting and kvetching and all of that sort of stuff. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, and check out the pickup going out. We were listening to it acoustically coming in. Okay. Ciao. Still ringing.